Welcome to the Wire to Wire podcast. As always, it's me, your host Yusuf. Now, without further ado, let's just get right to it. The Weeknd has once again made history with his After Hours Till Dawn tour crossing the $1 billion mark with 7.5 million tickets sold. Now, this is an incredible accomplishment, and what it really shows is it shows his star power and also how transcendent of an artist that he is. Anyone who listens to this show regularly knows that my favorite artist is The Weeknd. And if you're a first time listener, you just learned something new about me. But this solidifies his position as one of, if not the most popular and biggest artist in the world. Now, it's important to mention that this record that I'm speaking about is specifically for male solo artists. And there is no doubt that if we're talking strictly just male solo artists, right, just that category, then there is no doubt that he is the most popular and biggest artist in the world today. That's why it's crazy to me how he has once again been snubbed by the Grammys. But I'm not surprised because this just goes to show how out of touch and archaic these institutions are and how out of touch with reality they really are. He has the most monthly listeners on Spotify at 122.4 million listeners at the end of November. He has been the most streamed artist and he has held this record or this position for multiple years in a row now. So his tour crossing this threshold of having earned over 1 billion, what it really does is it just cements his star power as well as his staying power in the world of music. So if an award show like the Grammys decides that they don't want to nominate him for any award despite him deserving the nomination and really to be winning, then they're not really affecting him. They're affecting their own credibility, because there is no basis for them not to give him the awards or give him the credit that he deserves. But for them not to give him that, then all it really does is shows that they are not to be taken seriously. In 2021, they completely snubbed After Hours, despite that being a classic album, and he had the biggest single in Billboard music history with Blinding Lights. So for those to get snubbed, it really just shows how out of touch they are and their lack of credibility. I've had a chance to go to a handful of shows since this tour kicked off in 2022, and he has been trekking all over the globe, starting off in North America, going to Europe, UK, Latin America, parts of Oceania. I hope I'm saying that correct. And then now back to North America. And then next year, he will be back in Europe, UK, as well as Latin America. So there is still a lot of high demand for this tour. I think sometimes the problem that he runs into is that he has so much hits. And despite the fact that his set list already had 40 songs, it's still difficult for him to figure out what songs to put in and what songs to take out. There's no way he's going to be able to please everybody, but it's very tough making that decision. What do you want to include? What are you going to leave off? Because ultimately, there's going to be a pocket of the fan base that feels as though they never got to hear the songs that they want to hear because it's been left off. Now, mind you, this is actually a good problem to have, having such an extensive number of hits in your catalog. But when it comes to having to put it into a set list, and he's already an artist that has a lot of songs, like I said, he has 40 songs, it can be challenging what you're going to decide to include and what you're going to leave off. Now, he has a new album under his belt with Hurry Up Tomorrow. And so far with the tour that just concluded earlier this year, he has been able to incorporate songs from that album into the set list, right? So it'll be interesting to see what the set list sounds like next year, what the whole performance and show is going to look like next year, just in terms of the visuals and the aesthetic. Now, I remember when he was doing his first stint in Europe as well as Latin America back in 2023, he was switching up the set list every now and then in different stops and really giving a different variety to different fan bases. And I thought that was a good way for him to mitigate that whole problem I was talking about earlier with the set list. So I'm interested to see how he goes about doing it next year. But in a very competitive industry and with the challenges that come with selling out tours, let alone stadiums, it's really a testament to his greatness and the quality of his catalog and being able to sell out shows the way that he does and the manner in which he's been able to do it. There are not many artists that could sell out stadiums, and he has been doing that for 4 years straight all across the globe. But this has been an incredible year for him. He put out the album of the year with Hurry Up Tomorrow. He has had an incredible tour in North America. He released his first feature film, and now he has the highest grossing tour of a male solo artist. So The Weeknd is definitely in a league of his own when it comes to music. His artistry, his global star power, he's really untouched and unmatched in those regards. Now, to finish off this episode, I'm going to play some clips from attending his show earlier this year. Now, I'm going to have to turn the audio off because the last time I uploaded some videos, I got some copyright hits. So I definitely don't want that happening again. But that's all I got for you guys today. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and share it with your people. You guys can also follow me and the podcast on social media. You guys can also check out my books. All of the links will be in the description. Until next time.